Sure.
I'm Alexander. I'm lead of HSE Club at Computer Science Department, and let me introduce Manon. Manon is a speaker today, and she will talk about herself more and about this event. And we are here because we interested in competitions like hackathons, like Bayer Campus competition, and yeah. So here we are, and yeah, Manon.
Okay, perfect.
Over to you.
Over to me. Thank you, Alexander, for the introduction. So my name is Manon, and I work for Agorize, which is the leading platform for open innovation challenges. So basically what we do is that we organize open innovation challenges, so competitions for students, but also for startups. We have a lot of challenges for students in Europe, actually. So this is why I'm here today, because I think that you are like the perfect students that could participate in the Bayer Campus, Digital Campus 2021. So this is why we have also the honor to have someone from Bayer today. So Marle, she's here also to present the challenge to you, because she works for Bayer, so she knows better the company than I do. And I think that it's also cool to have a represent from Bayer. If you have any specific questions about a specific category, she will be able to answer you. So yes, maybe I could just start presenting just quickly Agorize, Marle, if it's okay for you, just like 2 minutes, and then I will give it over to you so that you can start presenting the Bayer challenge.
Sure.
Okay, perfect. I will share my screen with you, if I can. Can you all see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So as I said, I work for Agorize, which is still a startup because we are only 100 employees working in the company, which is already quite a lot, but we are still a small structure. And what we do at Agorize, so we are kind of the missing link between companies and students. So we are an online platform, a collaborative platform, on which companies can upload, let's say, like just come up with some challenge with a topic, a specific topic, and then students can come on this platform and submit some projects for the company. So this is why we say that we are kind of this bridge between companies and students with the collaborative platform. So we have 9 years of experience, almost 10. We have 6 offices around the world. So I'm based in Paris, but we also have one in Stuttgart, Germany. We have one in Montreal, in Singapore, here in Hong Kong, and one in Tokyo. So as I said, we are more than 100 collaborators, and we have more than 300 clients. Actually, this number is growing. So this presentation is a bit old, so I think that I should update it. So I think that now it's around like 500 clients, and we have launched more than 700 challenges since we were founded, just on startup challenges. And now I will, before going into details, I will just stop sharing my screen and hand it over to you, Marle, so that you can start introducing the Bayer challenge.
Okay, that was really quick. Thank you, Manon. Okay. Again, once you see my screen, please let me know.
Yes, it's okay.
Yes,
Okay, perfect. And I will try to, I haven't worked with Zoom in a long time, so I try to have the chat here open as well. Okay, but if you do have any questions, you can just unmute yourself or write in the chat. Let me know if there's anything even in between. Just I can stop and then we talk about it. First thing, my name is not Heiko. he asked me last week if I would take over because he's on a well-deserved vacation. He's usually taking care of the Digital Campus Challenge at Bayer, and I was supporting him for 3 years, so he thought it's a good idea that I would talk to you today. Okay, first thing would be to introduce you real quick to Bayer. I hope you know a thing or two about the company. And I think the biggest thing you need to know is our business areas. So the biggest one would be the crop science department. Anything around agriculture, farmers, and of course, digital farming, which is a big topic for this year. Then we do have the pharmaceutical division. I hope none of you had the, already know any of those drugs because they are the prescription drugs. We do have a lot in oncology, cardiology, but also ophthalmology. So everything regarding the eyes, radiology, and other areas. So I hope, that you won't need those drugs for a really long time. As for the consumer health, we do have non-prescription medicine like aspirin. So that one you probably know. We do have a lot of, we call them over-the-counter drugs that you can just buy in any drugstore or pharmacy without any prescription. So this would be just a really quick overview about our 3 divisions. So how it began with the Digital Campus Challenge, the collaboration with Agorize started in 2016. And as you can see on the image on the left side, it started actually in this is the soccer stadium we do have in Leverkusen with the Bayer 04 Leverkusen soccer team that we do own. And it was all in person. It was a really, really big event. And it went bigger over the years. So we had people from the board of management talking on our events. And last year, it was actually the up to this date, the biggest one when we streamed it live on LinkedIn. Actually, LinkedIn got really nervous when we told them that we are going to stream live for 3 hours because it was the first time they were doing a live stream with any company for 3-hour long session. What is it all about? So we are looking to students from universities worldwide to submit their ideas in 4 categories. I'm going to show them later on. And we are asking students since end of March to do that. And the deadline for us, at least, I'm not sure if you do guys have a deadline from the university, but our deadline is the 7th of November when we need your idea, your submission for this year's Campus Challenge. We do have more than 40 IR experts in the respective departments going through all the submissions and seeing which one should be the finalist. So it's not anyone who's doing that. It's really the people who are experts in those areas that are going through all your submissions. Once you're in the final, we get 4 teams in the final. Every team gets mentors from there internally that are going to prepare them for the grand finale, which is going to take place, unfortunately, again in a virtual setting this year on December 8th. Let me gonna show you 1 second. Okay, so we're gonna have 4 sessions for the teams, for the selected teams. The first one would be the data-driven farming topic. Second would be the data science, then digital therapeutics and cybersecurity. Every team gets 30 minutes where they do have to have the presentation and the Q&A involved in that, 30 minutes. We then do have a voting that we're going to open after the final presentations to everyone. And then after a voting period of 15 minutes, we're going to see who the winner out of those 4 teams is from. Let's see how many teams are participating. I think Manon can give you the more details on that. So topics evolved over time. So for us, the Digital Campus Challenge is not a recruiting event, but an ideation tool or challenge. So therefore, the topics changed regarding our targets or what we want to achieve in the future. It started with blockchain, genomics. In 2018, we had precision medicine in there. Actually, this team won. They had a diet that was precision nutrition for any customer. Then gene therapy and workplace 5.0. Of course, machine and deep learning was a big thing. Data science is in there again. IT security was 2 years ago, and digital therapeutics was already last year. So you see with our topics, we are looking for digital innovation that is at the moment happening. And therefore this year, one of the topics is going to be data-driven farming. As I said at the beginning, our crop science division is the biggest one at Bayer. And data-driven farming is therefore a really, really big thing for us. Digital therapeutics, yeah, how do you see the future of Bayer in a digitally enhanced healthcare ecosystem? Because it's pretty new to us. We're a big pharma company, but in digital topics, we're not the strongest. So we really want to hear your ideas about that. Data science keeps being interested to us. And we want to hear your ideas what data science can mean for the future of Bayer. And cybersecurity will stay really a big thing for us as well. Every pitch of any idea will be looked at under the 4 criteria. So how big is the innovation potential of whatever you're submitting? Is this really an innovation, or is it something that is maybe already there? So they will have a look into that. Is it really groundbreaking? And also, is it possible to make this idea a reality? One year we did have someone submit flying cars that are flying ambulance cars between the Bayer sites. So that was a nice idea, but not really possible 5 years ago. Probably not possible at this time. So maybe not really, something for that time. So maybe really think of something that can be a reality. One year we did have finalists that actually won this year. So they made a pacifier. Not sure if you all know what a pacifier is. It's like for the babies, if they cry, you do have this little thing that you can give them. They have it in their mouth, they suck on them, and usually they calm down. And they wanted to have a pacifier where they do have a sensor in there that's looking into different parameters of the saliva of the baby to really measure, are they healthy? Do they maybe have diabetes? Do they have low insulin levels, stuff like that? So they really had good ideas for that. Something that measures the temperature, the temperature of the baby through the whole day. So if anything happens, the parents would be alarmed by an app. So this is something not so out of the reality like a flying ambulance. So just to give you an idea about what might be possible. Also, customer focus is the next big criteria that the jurors are going to look at. If it really creates a value for your customer. Another idea was from a winning team. They created socks that had woven in fabric that could also measure the temperature. If you do have diabetes, it is really common that you get foot ulcers. So that kind of like the tissue in your foot is degenerating or dying off. And sometimes they don't even feel that because for whatever reason, it's painless. So they created a sock with this special fabric that really senses if something is happening. And then also you get an alarm on an app and your doctor can read through that. They did not have a prototype created for that. It was just their idea, and they sourced some fabrics and some sensors. So they did not really create a sock. They did not give us a sock, but they gave us the idea, and this one actually won. The third criteria is it actually financially attractive, what you are presenting? Would that be something that would be for a lot of customers? Would it be also the price you're thinking about? Would the price be sufficient, or would it be too high, too low? Something like that. So really think of that as well. Does it have an economic impact? Can you make money out of this? And then one not so little point would be the presentation. So how do you present your idea? And you can use your pitch time for whatever you feel would be the most or would be the best way to present it. Some teams in the past, they had a video. They were talking about, I think it was an app, a wearable for elderly people, and they actually made a video of their grandparents, and their grandparents were talking into the camera, and that was really emotionally kind of like getting the people. So there were really cute grandparents sitting there, video talking about how their life gets harder and how they are afraid to fall on a daily basis. So this was really something that got the audience. So really think about something. How would you present your idea? How would you pitch it? You can use just a PowerPoint, or you can use videos, or you can just talk, whatever would be the most fitting one. But these are the criteria you're going to be judged on. I said before that for the timeline, we do have the final application with everything. So your final submission needs to be there on November 7th. The voting phase internally at Bayer between the 40 experts is going to take place until November 21st. And then we going to announce the four finalist teams, and they're going to go into a mentoring stage until the final presentation. I will send you this presentation afterwards, so you can click on the links and also see Heiko's profile if you do have any more questions afterwards, because he's really the expert on that, and I really do hope I can also help you with whatever questions you might have at the moment. And I think this would be, maybe one more thing. Sometimes we get the question, who owns the IP rights? So this would still be laying with you, but Bayer, once you want to participate, we want to have the, what is it called, the preemptive right to buy your ideas for the next 4 weeks. Is it preemptive right? I'm pretty sure it is, right? I hope you know what I mean. So maybe we want to buy your idea, and then we would have the right to do that for the next 4 weeks. And if we don't do that in that time, of course, every other company can also buy your ideas. So this would be it regarding the IP. But yeah, I couldn't see the chat for my presentation. I'm sorry. I don't know if you do have any questions.
I don't think there is any question in the chat so far, but thank you very much for all the information. Is there any question to Bayer so far? I will, if you, maybe it was you didn't have the time to think about the topics, I will show you again the platform, the different categories after. We'll take more time with it. But if you have any specific questions so far to Bayer, like any question you have, feel free. It's the moment, because Manon is not staying until the end of the workshop with us.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Did Bayer buy some of the ideas of the participants?
Manon, I'm not 100% sure, so I was not really involved. I'm not in the legal department. Manon, do you know that?
I think there was a discussion last year about 2 years ago, the pacifier, as you said, because Bayer was very interested in this idea. So they were in process of buying the idea, but I think it never really went through the process. So we don't have any success story of that type, like complete one, I would say. But there is this option that you can sell your idea to Bayer if they're interested. But of course, it takes some time. Also, they need to test if there is any, if it's very interesting for them in terms of benefits and so on. But yes, there is the possibility.
Okay, thank you.
I know that last year, one of the teams already said that if we're not going to buy it, they already had another company lined up, and their idea was really great. So sometimes, I have to be honest, sometimes Bayer is a super big company. Sometimes they can't make it within the 4 weeks. But yeah. And also, if you create something, don't look at our portfolio and say, okay, this might be something that would fit in there. It's just really your idea, and Bauer's was something really new, and don't look at our portfolio, even if we don't have that, like, let's say, field at the moment, and maybe the pharmaceutical research, but maybe your idea is so groundbreaking that we might need that. Bayer didn't produce vaccines before, and actually with the pandemic, they were from one day to the other really thinking about going into that business. And we are still collaborating with another company to produce vaccines. So if it's really something that we could use or need, and this would be a benefit, it doesn't matter if we already have that field in our portfolio. So you don't have to look at that, really just come up with any idea.
But I think the most important here is that your idea that you will submit belongs to you. So it's very important to know that you keep the IP rights, and then there is always an option to collaborate with Bayer. But here it's not about like giving your ideas for free. Like, okay, you have worked on a project, you have invested a lot of hours and time, and then Bayer just take your idea and say, okay, bye-bye, thanks very much. It's not really the concept here. It's really, you are protected by Agorize, you are protected by the platform, and then there is also an opportunity maybe to collaborate with Bayer or to get hired by them also. Any other question about the challenge, about Bayer? If not, don't worry, maybe you will have some after the session, but there is always a way that to get in touch with ICO. I can forward your questions to Bayer, so don't worry if you don't have any inspiration so far.
I saw that you can't access the link I sent. I'm sorry. This should be an open blog post from Heiko on LinkedIn, but I will try to give you something else maybe afterwards, because my connection is really not stable at the moment. I'm sorry. I will give you something through Manon then, through Agorize, so they will provide you with more links. I'm sorry.
Sure, don't worry.
Okay, LinkedIn is blocked in Russia. Okay, I'm sorry.
Or email address, maybe, like if there is any.
Yeah, he posted it on, but it's YouTube videos. I can just give you the link of the YouTube videos directly.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome. So if there is no other questions to Marle, maybe Marle, you're free to go if you have any other things to do. And then we can start maybe with the workshop. So maybe I will show you again the platform, the change platform, because you haven't seen it yet. I will show you the different categories, repeat some repeat some important information, and then we can start like building the teams and try to brainstorm together if you are interested. Okay, can you open the YouTube link, or should be fine? Russia.
It definitely works.
Okay, they work. Okay, yeah. Perfect. I can stay on for like 10 more minutes. If you do have anything, put it in the chat. Otherwise, I will then log out, and you can always. I would just put. I wanted to say connect with me on LinkedIn. Haha, I'm sorry. I will put my email in the chat so you can write me an email if anything comes up afterwards. Okay, thank you, Manon.
Thanks. I will maybe share my screen again with you. A lot of screen sharing, sorry, that is necessary so that you have all the information you need. Can you all see my screen?
Yep.
Yes, we can.
Okay, I cannot see you. Okay, thank you. So this is the Bayer Digital Campus Challenge. So for your information, this is not the first edition. So we have already organized 4 editions. Pretty successful challenge in the world, and actually we are very happy to have this workshop in Russia, because I think this is the first time that we are hosting a workshop in Russia. You are like a very hard to get country, we are very happy to have you on this one. So you can see this is the change platform. There are different tabs. So here we are on the first one, so you can have some inspiration about the challenge. You can watch also the video presenting the challenge. And here also, Marle, we forgot to talk about the most important part for students. This is the prizes, or we did, I don't remember. Maybe we forgot. But anyway,
we forgot, sorry.
No, don't worry, it's fine. So we forgot to tell you that basically on all our open innovation challenges, so no one wants to work for free. So there is always something to win at the end for those who get selected for the final event. And for the first team, there is a trip to win in a B city, well, in a city starting with a B, among Bayer's live hubs in spring 2022, if a COVID situation allows us to do so. So as you can see here, you have 3 cities, so Boston, Barcelona, and Berlin. So for your information, it's a trip that you win with Bayer. So basically, they cover all the expenses, the flight tickets or the accommodation and so on. So it will be like an all-inclusive trip for you to visit one of Bayer's live hubs, which is pretty nice because you will get in touch with some experts from the company, from some mentors. So it's also the opportunity for you to do some networking and maybe get your next internship or maybe your full-time contract. For all the winning teams, you will get professional mentoring, because in the second step, each team will get a mentor from Bayer in order to develop your project with the partner company. So they would give you some advice, some tips, how to improve your project in order to win the first prize. And of course, for all the teams, get to know Bayer. So you will get some opportunities to job interview, not to everyone, so we cannot guarantee it. But this is something that is an opportunity for you to get noticed by the company and get spotted by Bayer. And once again, so this is the 4 categories. So this Marle presented the categories to you, but if you click here on teams, you will get more info about each category. So I won't like read it like out loud, but you can come back to the link here and have some more information about the different categories. So as you can see, the first category is data-driven farming. So how can we improve agriculture, help farmers to have a more data-driven process to work with? So here, this is the first category with technology, of course. This is all the purpose of the challenge. The second category is digital therapeutics. So this one is maybe more general because I think that you can come up with a lot of different ideas in this category. But to sum it up, it's a bit like how can we bring the patients closer to the doctors or to the hospital? So how can we provide also the patients with a more precision, how do you say that? Precision-oriented process when they are at the hospital, to have more visibility on the condition and so on. Like it can be an application on the phone, or it can be just a technology integrated directly in the hospital. Then we have data science, which is also a very important topic for Bayer, because you can imagine that such a big company, they have a lot of data from any kind of things, like can be people, but also about products. So how can they optimize all the data that they have to do something that could benefit to other people, to other employees from Bayer, or that could ease some process. So data science is a very important topic in the company. And of course, cybersecurity, because you can imagine that if a company like Bayer that have quite sensitive data is hacked by someone, it can be like very bad for the reputation of the company. So I think that they're also looking for some ideas how they can protect better their system, or computing system, or cloud, or data, so everything. So cybersecurity is also an open category that you can submit an idea in. And then finally, just to come back quickly, I know that Marlo already told you, but just keep in mind that the first step is ending on November 7th. And that for the first step of the challenge, we are just expecting you to submit a 10-slide PowerPoint. So it's not much. I'm sure that at the university you are used to submit like longer projects. So I think that 10-slide PowerPoint for you is like your fingers in the nose. Well, I'm not saying that it's not that it's easy to participate, but I think that it's something that you can do easily outside of your class. And in this PowerPoint, so we are expecting you, as Marlo told you, to highlight also the problem that you have identified, the solution that you are thinking of, what is the benefit for the customer, what is the benefit for Bayer, is it something that they will be able to make money out of it, or is it something that will just improve the community? Try to talk about all the aspects of your project in the 10-slide PowerPoint, without going into too much details, because sometimes we have students submitting slides with like a lot of text. Keep in mind that it's a presentation, so try to have it a bit more like it needs to breathe, not to have like too much information compact, but also maybe add some visuals to make something that looks pretty. And then as Marle already said, so there will be a voting step by Bayer, and then the mentoring step where you will be coached by mentors, and then the final event. I hope that we will be able to do it on site. I don't know, Marlo, if you have any information about that so far, but I know it's complicated with the COVID, so I guess it will depend on the country you are from, if there is any measures at that time, if you are able to travel to Germany or not. It will depend.
Actually, I think if we would do it on site, it might be from Poland, from Warsaw.
Ah,
so
yeah, true.
Yeah, not sure. At the moment, we rather plan virtually and then see, hopefully, on site.
Yeah, we cross our fingers. So yes, I think that now you really have all the information. So this is the last call. If you have any question to Marle regarding like the company itself, the categories, otherwise, there is a question that has been answered. Okay. So yes, any other question, or is it okay for you? Okay.
Well, if we are planning to have a project connected with buyer itself, for example, could we investigate some inner strategies or maybe trading in case we may propose some new ideas, for example, in sphere of data science, or trying to sort some tracking model. I mean, how could we know what buyer has and what we can add it to it? Not just worldwide projects.
Yeah, good question. Usually I would just really Google that. If you challenge your idea, simple as that, really. If you do have an idea, just put it in and search for that. If we do have it, we probably gonna market it if it's something new and groundbreaking. And if not, maybe we're just in the process of inventing it, and then yeah, maybe if your idea pays into that also would be great. But I would also, yeah, I would totally go with just Google it. If we do have it, I'm pretty sure we're gonna market it pretty wide, and you will hear from it.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
And also, sorry.
Sorry, I don't understand about what buyer has. So if I'm interested in the data science project, I want to use some data, maybe about customers, their history. So where can I find what data can I use on the buyer's base?
Yeah, this is okay. You can't really find what data you can use, but you can imagine that if we do have a new drug on the market, we need to have the submission, or the, I'm not sure if it's submission in English, but you need to have the license for it so that you can market it. And therefore we do have a lot of studies we do before we get the license. And there we create a lot of patient data. So if you do have an idea where you apply data science and say, okay, we're going to take patient data, you can be sure that we have tons of patient data from all the submissions, all the licenses we do have. As for crop science, we do have already some digital farming, some drones taking pictures. So we do have that, but I think this is still really at the beginning. So not so many data there, I think. But this is also, maybe you can just assume something that we have, like assume that we do have drones that collect data. It doesn't have to be there already. It can just be really your rough idea that we can implement, and maybe we do have something where we can track the data out, or maybe we can put a step before that, before your idea, to get that data.
Okay, thank you.
Exactly, and just know that buyer, when they will review all the projects, they will take into account that you don't work for buyer. So of course, you're not supposed to know all about the company itself. So just as Marle said, just try to imagine what kind of data they can have and what you could do with this kind of data. So it's all about imagination. Don't worry, they don't expect like a very high quality project, like perfect projects, because you don't work for the company. So of course you don't have all the information. But also what I wanted to say, on the challenge platform, when you register, in your participation space, there is a place where you can ask mentor, or you can ask an admin, or you can ask the company itself for any questions. So if you have any like big doubts, I won't say like ask anything, but if you have really like an idea and you're really not sure about if it fits with the project and you really want to have a feedback from buyer, write it down, send a message, and you will get the feedback from buyer saying, okay, you're in the right direction, or no, this is not something that we are looking for, just try to find something else. So this is also an option if really you are hesitating. Any other questions? Or
Okay, I would then log out if that's fine. If anything comes up, just yeah, as Manon just said, either on the platform or you can ask me via email. Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
thank you, Marla. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Bye.
So here we go. So we are like 19 in the call, considering that so there are some non-students here. Hey, Nina, I just realized that you were here. Hello.
I was here.
So,
sorry, yes, I had problems with my sound.
Sure.
Didn't.
Okay, nice to meet you. So since we have like 1 hour left, what about like creating some teams and maybe create some breakout rooms and already start like brainstorming what kind of ideas we could come up with, because I've worked on this project like for 4 years now, so I already know quite a lot about buyer. So I'm pretty curious about like what kind of ideas you could develop for this project. Are you in or?
In.
Okay, perfect. So the thing is that, so do you know everyone here? Is it like, are you in the same courses or you don't know each other at all?
We're the same faculty, I think.
Yeah, same faculty, but maybe you don't know each other, right? I guess.
I think I know a few people from here. And that's
Yes,
all.
you do?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about like we create some rooms according to your preference of category. Like for example, those who are interested in the category what is it called again? Data-driven farming, digital therapeutics, data science, and cybersecurity. And then when we have split different topics, then we can maybe come up with some teams. Is it something that is that sounds good to you?
But I have a question, please.
Yes, Sarah, tell me.
Yeah, so some of the members aren't in this call, but they want to be in some team. So
okay,
will be considered in this team or not? It's because they
Sure.
aren't here. Oh, okay. Thank you.
So what do you prefer? If you want, we don't need to create the teams now. You can we can just brainstorm like in small groups, and then after when the workshop is over, you can chat with your teammates and build your own team. I'm just here like to help you get some inspiration. We are not expecting you at the end of the workshop to have an idea. It's just like try to test your ideas. So should we wait before registering on the platform, or should we already start like creating the team?
Well, how would you create the teams if there are at least no idea about preferences of every member of this conversation?
So you don't know, like if I ask you what is the category you prefer the most, you don't know yet?
No, you will ask everybody? Who will you ask?
Well, we can just like, I think on the Teams, we can, if I ask you who likes the category, for example, digital farming, you can add some reaction. Like, for example, you can put a thumbs up or just a green check. And then according to that, we can create the team.
Okay.
Yes.
And if we have a team, we should register on buyer.agorize.com.
Exactly. I can send it. I can send you the link. Hang on.
How many participants have to be in one team?
Yeah, good question. Sorry, I forgot to tell you this. This is teams from 2 to 5 people. So it's minimum 2 students in the team and maximum 5. So maybe we can create teams of 4 people, for example. Considering that, so we are 18. So I guess there are like maybe 15 students. Either we create 3 teams of 5 students, or we create 4 teams of more or less 4 students.
I think there are some students that are actually in the groups right now. So some students are, I don't know, in the same groups already.
Okay, and who is that? Like, you mean in the same course?
I mean, like we some time ago in the like we have a group with my group mate, you know, a teammate. I have one already.
Okay, so you already like know who you want to work with.
Yeah, and I think there are actually more like me here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a group of 3, and we want to work in a team.
Okay, perfect. It's even better if you already have your own team. It's better. I thought that you were just coming to the workshop and then we had to come up with some team, but if it's already done, it's even better. So I just sent you the link here. So for those who already have a team, you can already register and create your team. But just for your information, in order to create your team, you firstly have to register individually. So everyone has to create a profile, an account on buyer.com. And then once you all have your accounts, then you can create the team. But it's very important that in the team, there is all the team members. Because imagine if you go to the final and there is only one team member, like representing the team, legally in the challenge, there is only this person who represents the team and the others don't exist. So it's very important, just keep in mind that everyone has to have an account and then you can create the team all together. Share my screen again with you. So we have 7 minutes left. So as you can see, it's pretty like short timing, like 2 hours to present the challenge to you, to have someone from Bayer answering your question, to create the team and to brainstorm. So it's impossible to submit a project in 2 hours. But it's already good because what you did today, like in breakout rooms, you were thinking about some ideas and I heard like a lot of good ideas. So very thank you. I'm very like impressed by your ideas because I never thought that you would already have some ideas by coming to this workshop, and actually we got some very brilliant ones. We got the question like how to register on the platform. So maybe I will just repeat again how it works. It's pretty simple. You need to go on this link that I already sent you in the conversation, and you have to sign up. So as I told you, everyone has to be registered individually on the platform before taking part in the challenge. Very important. Once you have created your account, you can now participate in the challenge. So you can click on participate. So only one person per team is creating the team and the others will join the team. And of course, also in the participation space, this is where you can submit your 10-slide PowerPoint before the deadline. So the deadline is on November 7. And also in your participation space, this is where you can chat with a mentor. So this is where you will find the chat with administrator button. So if you click on this, you can send some messages through the platform to someone from Agorize or from Bayer. So we will read your questions and we will try to answer them as soon as possible. I will also give you my email address. So in case that you want to have some writing feedback on your project, feel free to send it to me. I would be happy to give you some feedback on the challenge. Just try not to send it to me on the deadline, so not on 7, because I think the deadline is on a Sunday, so I won't work on that day. But feel free to send it to me at least 1 week before the deadline so that I can give you some feedback. So yes, this is what I wanted to show you. Also, maybe you're wondering why Bayer is like launching that kind of challenge. It's because they want to find new talents in universities and also develop their entrepreneurship. So find some new ideas. They want to get out of the box and have gather some new ideas for services and for some products. But it's also a way of saying that they are hiring new people. So it's an employer branding tool. And also because they want to get visibility in schools. Yeah, once again, this is the first time that we're organizing this workshop in Russia, which is pretty cool. And for you guys, of course, because just keep in mind also that when you participate in a challenge like the Bayer challenge, it's also can be very a benefit for you. For example, the first benefit is that it can add experience on your CV. So this is some experience that you can value during a job interview. You can say that, hey, look, I participated in the Bayer challenge last year. I went to the final event. I won the trip to Boston, and then I went to the Bayer head office and so on. So this is really experience that you can add on your CV and that can value your professional experience. So you can get professional experience because I want to show you that outside of your theoretical classes, which I'm sure are very good, I want to show you that you can get practice by working with a real company on an innovation project, and that you can get spotted by this company if you want to get a job like an internship or full-time contract. Yeah, open to any kind of position. And also you can win amazing prizes. So for the Bayer challenge, it's pretty nice because you can win an all-inclusive trip to Barcelona, to Berlin, or to Boston. So you can choose. So I think it's a pretty nice way of like doing something outside of your classes, which doesn't take so much time and where you can get some very nice advantages for you. So this is, I wanted just to, in order to finish it, to show you an example of a Bayer challenge, Bayer project, just to show you maybe the design. I think it was, in my opinion, it was a very nice presentation in terms of design of the presentation. I'm not going to talk about the project, but I just want to show you the structure, which I think it was pretty nice. So as you can see, this is the first slide. They were talking about the context of the solution of the project. So what is the context of the project, why they thought about this idea. And then they were developing the project, so the solution, with the problems, the goals, the solution. Once again, the solution with a nice design. It was a project around a training program for employees. So they put the timeline of how a training day looks like. And then the advantages of the solution. So a very nice design once again. And then the team. So I thought it was pretty fine, very funny to put like some emojis for the faces. So they didn't put any picture. You can put some pictures if you want, but they decided to put like some emojis instead of pictures. And I think that the presentation looks very nice to see, and it's pretty nice or easy to read. Another thing, sorry, I have 1 minute left, but I think it was pretty interesting to show you this, is the Innovator Kit. I will send you the link because the Innovator Kit is very long. It's like a lot of slides, but it can help you to develop your idea. So with this kit, it explains to you how to set the context, how to address the right issue, how to develop your idea, how to structure your presentation, and how to pitch if you go to the final. So it's divided in different chapters, as I just show you. So it can really help you to develop your project in a smart way. I'm not going to show it to you because it's pretty long, but I will send you the link so that maybe it can be pretty useful for you. And my favorite part in this part is the how to structure your project, because maybe some students, sometimes they are lost, they don't know how to structure the presentation of the project. And here we have a template where you can see on slide number 1, this is the introduction. So the team name or the catchphrase, the university logo. Try to put also highlight your university, the client's logo, what is the team name, and so on. So the information that you need to put. Second slide is the context, as I told you, like for example, if you want to put some percentages, for example, last year, 30% of the farmers didn't had a good season because of the weather, for example. So you can put some statistics, some context to your project, the audience that you would like to address the project to. So develop your solution, the project, some hard work. So if some people in your team can use some InDesign or Photoshop, if you want to put some visuals, this is also the slide where you can do this. The budget, if you know how much is going to cost your project, you can also put a slide about the budget, the marketing, and then the team presentation. So this is a tool that we developed at Agorize. So it's something to help the students. You don't need to use it or to follow it by heart, but this is something that can help you for your project. I will stop the screen sharing, send you the link. Here we go. So you can have access to the Innovator Kit here. I already sent you the link to the buyer challenge. So I guess that you have all the information you need in order to participate. Do you have any questions regarding the challenge, Agorize, buyer, anything? No? Well, if you have, this is my email address. So manon@agorize.com. Keep it somewhere. If you have any question, or if you want some feedback on your project, or like writing feedback, don't hesitate to send me your project per email. I can check your project and send you some feedback.
Manon, I've got actually a couple of questions from the previous our breakout rooms, and first of all, they asked, could buyer provide some kind of data sets? Also, could buyer provide some research papers?
Okay. So I think we got the question from Marle, I think at the beginning, asking about the data. So to be honest with you, so we don't have any data to share with you. You just need to think about what kind of data buyer could have. So in your opinion, because buyer, they sell drugs to drugstores, they sell drugs to hospitals as well. So think about all the clients that they have and the kind of information that could be useful for your project. To be honest, I cannot help you with that. So tell you what kind of data they have, because I don't work for buyers, so I don't know myself. If you want, I can ask Heiko if he can give some inspiration about it. Would you like it that I ask the company to give some inspiration about the kind of data that the students could use? I guess it's a yes.
For the second question, what do you think about some Bayer research papers? I guess Bayer do some research work, right? For instance, we have a team which doing some project for sleep analysis, right? And they are interested in for some kind of research in Bayer for the sleep analysis. Maybe there is it.
Is it a question? I'm sorry. If it's a question, I didn't get it.
Yeah. The question is about is there research papers regarding sleep analysis?
Okay. If there was any ideas that were already submitted about the.
Yep.
Okay. I already got the question earlier with Alexander and what's his name again? It's a group of two, Ruslan. They also want to. Ruslan, sorry for my mispronunciation, but
okay.
they wanted to develop a project around that. So I don't know if it's these students you were talking about, or
Yeah,
it's another
it was
group.
about us. Yes, I think it was about.
Okay.
Your team, right?
Yeah. So I already told them that I think the subject is pretty interesting, and since I've never seen such a project for the Bayer Challenge, I think that it could make the difference and be quite interesting for Bayer. So I highly encourage you to submit something around this topic. Does it answer your question or?
We hope.
Okay.
Okay. Also, I've got a couple of questions regarding do they need some kind of maybe machine learning model or some kind of really research in Python? I don't know, something like that.
You mean if the students need to submit that for the project?
Yeah, for the first stage, as I understood correctly, they need just presentation and idea description, but maybe later they need some kind of real prototype, right?
Yeah. At least not for the first step and not for the mentoring step. If a buyer is interested in buying the idea and implementing it, then yes, I would say they will have to develop something which is more technical. But for the first step or the second step, there is no need to go really into details or to have a prototype. It's only if buyer is interested in implementing it.
Okay, fine. Also, I guess students which have a team and idea, and they will create some kind of deck, and they can register and apply for the competition, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Fine.
Of course. Sorry, guys, I haven't seen like all of you. I think I saw like two groups of students. But as I told you, you have my email address. If you want some feedback on your idea or have another call on the other day, don't hesitate to write me, and I can assist you with that. Do we have any other questions?
No, everything is clear.
Okay. With the logo in the background, the Bayer logo, very corporate.
Thank you.
Nice move.
Что-то Сараха, блядь. Ну, нам
all right, so I will have to leave now because I need to go. But thank you very much for your time and for being there. I was very as I told you, like surprised by the number of ideas, because I think that you prepared actually like before the workshop, because you already have quite interesting ideas. So I'm looking forward to seeing your ideas, projects on the platform. Don't hesitate to contact me once again. I know I told you like many times, but once again, like it's free, like just contact me if you want some feedback. Would be happy to assist you. And I hope to see you at the final event, because I usually take part in the final. So would be happy also to, if I'm part of the jury, to help you out or to vote for your project.
Manon, also, I guess a good idea to repeat maybe how to use mentor help from the website.
Yeah. Do you want me to show you directly on the platform? Maybe before leaving, I will do this. I will create my account on the Bio Challenge.
Do you share screen? Oh,
yes,
okay.
I will
yes,
share
yes.
it now.
We can see.
You can see my screen?
Sure.
Okay. So imagine I am a student and I want to register. So I just need to create my account. So up. Address. Password. I accept the terms, the policy. Don't worry, we don't sell the data to anyone. So the data that you provide with, like the platform, is only for buyer and not for any kind of company. So it's just for internally. You can put a picture, but it's not obligatory. So as you wish, you are a student. Next. Ask you for your country. Belgium. Phone number, it's optional, so you don't need to put it. Then it asks you for your birth. I just put something random. Nationality, your language, your university name here, so don't forget to put your university, when you started university, and when you are ending university, when you will end or when you ended university, what you're studying, study progress. So if you are a master or bachelor degree, then you click on next. And this is actually your space. So you need to now participate. So now you're registered on the platform and you need to participate in the challenge. So you click on participate. You need to accept the rules. And then, so this is where I told you, so either you join a team or either you create your team. So in your case, one person will create the team. You can put a team name. Don't worry, you can change the name after. So you can just put something random because you don't have inspiration, but you will be able to change it when you submit your project. You can put a recruitment ad. It's not obligatory, but if you are looking for some, I don't know, designers to join your team or whatsoever, you can add a recruitment ad, but it's not obligatory. Just click on next. You can also add a video or a picture to your team, but it's not obligatory once again. You can select the category you want to work on. Once again, you can, if you're not sure, you can select something random and then you will be able to change after. And this is where you can invite your teammates. So for example, here I will invite my teammate Carla from Agorize. I will also invite Emma from Agorize. So you can invite your teammates, send them some invitation. Voila. And this is what I wanted to show you here, is the platform. So this is your participation space. So you can see the name of the team. If you click on your team, well, I'm alone right now, but I can go hiring. So if you haven't found your teammates, maybe you will find them here. So you can write the name of is Oleg. No, Oleg is not on the platform yet, but you can look for some teammates and you can invite them to join the challenge here. And then finally, what I wanted to show you and what Alexander reminded me of is this button. So the mentor admin. So if you click here, you can send a message to administrators. So administrators, they are the people who can see your project. So it's mainly mentors from Bayer and people from Agorize. So if you click here, you can send some message to the team saying like, hey, we are team blah, 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 and we have a question. And then you explain your question, you send the question, and then we will reply within, I would say, the 3 days, 3 or 4 days, depending on the bank holiday and so on. And in the participation space, this is where you can put an image, you can have the summary of your idea. For example, our idea is about blah, blah, blah. You can change the category here. And of course, you can change the team name. So if you want to say, I don't know, the winning team instead, you can change the name of the team. And here you will download your 10-slide PowerPoint and you click on submit once you have all the information, you have added the project and the summary and so on. Voila, so it's here once again, participation space, mentor, hiring, team, participation. This is all you need to know. Voila, sorry, it was a bit longer than planned, but at least you have all the information you need.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question or? No,
Actually,
it's clear.
not.
Okay, good. So should we stop here or Alexander, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I guess that's all. We are good, and thanks a lot, Manon, and yeah, let's keep in touch, and yeah, good luck, participants.
Yeah, good luck to all of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And my last question is, can I use video recording of this?
Sure.
Our workshop.
Of course. Feel free to use it, of course. So I guess thank you very much for your time. Once again, I already told you a lot, but I was very honored to have this workshop in Russia, and I think that you have really high chances to go further in the adventure because you have good ideas. You are from the right field, like computer science is what they love. So feel free to participate, go to the final, and yeah, I wish you good luck and see you guys.